from Blokees. It is the BRUTICUS Combining Accessories for the Defender versions of the Combaticons. Yes, in this box, we have the tools to take these figures, all 5 of them, and merge them into BRUTICUS. Yes, BRUTICUS has been a fan favorite ever since he was introduced in Starscream's Brigade, because, you know, Starscream likes trying to take over as a leader. So this kit here, we're going to take the pieces out, check them out, assemble the ones that need to be assembled, which is probably going to be pretty much all of them because that's how Blokees works. It's a kit, and you put together the kit, and then you put it together with those 5 kits that have been assembled, and he becomes BRUTICUS. And I do want to thank Blokees for sending this to me so I could review it for you guys. And the picture on there just looks really cool. I'm hoping that it looks as cool when I put them together. I suspect it will be, because it shows them like that, and yeah, that is damn cool. So, if you're new to the channel, I'm Captain Kyle, welcome aboard. Been watching for a while, thanks for coming back, very cool of you. And let's have fun merging the Combaticons into BRUTICUS. I think there's a law you have to say it that way. I don't want to break any laws, but I will say, be right back. All right, so I'm going to slide these guys over here. I have not yet taken the pieces out of this box. It is totally sealed. So let's see what we got. As I use my amazing strength to open the box. And in the box, there is a bag, rather big bag, and a character card for BRUTICUS with a Decepticon symbol on the back and a nice QR code brings all the Blokees stuff. And Leo has decided to join us on this table. So you want to look at the instructions with me? These are instructions for one, putting together the accessories that will combine BRUTICUS together, and then how to take the figures and combine them into BRUTICUS, which is kind of cool. And it looks like it uses some split technology because they're splitting. But let's open up the bag and see what's inside. And we'll put the pieces right here, and there's a lot of them. I do want to make sure there's nothing left in the bag, because nothing worse than tossing the bag aside and then finding out, oh, I left a little piece in there that I kind of need. All right, so it looks like you can assemble some of the pieces, but you also kind of need to assemble the figures with them. So I'm going to put the pieces towards the center, and we'll go through this whole process. So with Onslaught here, looks like we do pop off this gun. And by the way, the finished product picture shows the gun pointing backwards. I mean, that's great for tailgaters, but I think you would normally have it forward. It also looks like you detach the rear section. And let's take a look at these pieces here. So it's showing me that I am going to separate these pieces. So he was ready for some reassembly. So we'll put him over here for the moment. With Brawl, take off his sonic cannon. Yes, that's what it is, a sonic cannon. Take off his turret. Then you take this piece from the kit and you plug it on here. And then you put the turret back on. Apparently the sonic cannon does not have a place right now. I'm going to put that aside for the moment. Swindle! We take off his back guns. Looks like we put those aside. We also remove his front grille. So all that work putting it together and I got to take it off. It's all right. Fold his window back, which goes without a problem. And then this piece here has 2 posts. You put it right into these 2 posts here, and Swindle is ready to go. Now the Vortex, we're going to remove the front section like so, and this small gray piece will go in its place. It has 3 posts, so it goes on like so. That was pretty easy. The front goes with the other weapons and such. Blast off. So you want to remove the purple pieces. They're on the side like so. Separate like that, and then put the purple pieces back on. So that gets the vehicles ready. Now with these pieces, there's the front of BRUTICUS's head, there's the back, there's Leo, who is not going to play with this stuff, and there's this red piece that goes in here. So it looks like it has a little post coming up with a hole that goes towards the front. Gives some red eyes. And that right Leo. And then you put the back of the head on. There he is with his red eyes and the socket that will attach to BRUTICUS. Now to put the main sternum together, as they're calling it, we find this piece in the kit, and we find the 2 barrels that plug in like so. So with this piece, we want to take these 2 pieces from the kind of trailer-like thing, and we plug them in. This is not so easy with the cat in front of me. Like so. We find the chest piece, which if you turn around this assembly, you're looking at basically the bottom of the vehicle. You can plug in the chest piece into the side pieces, and it has 2 pieces that go into the main vehicle. Well, they look like they could go into the main vehicle, but they're not. I have to say it's a little tough to get them in there. You need to line them up both at once and try to use equal pressure to push them in. But there you go. The turret on the back has a little hole there, and that pops right onto that piece there, and you have the sternum. Now for Swindle, you have these 2 feet pieces, and this piece here that joins them together, but you need to make sure you're using the right one. Look at the instructions carefully. You push that in there, you push the foot piece together. Oh, I left out a step. No wonder. Good thing these come apart easily. Take this piece here, and again, just when you thought it was safe, you have to put a bunch of stuff together. And actually, I was wrong, it's this piece. No wonder it wasn't working. Plug that in here, then plug that in here, then push this together. Now it actually feels a little loose in there, but I think that's for posability purposes. So I think I've got the foot right. We'll put Swindle on it in a little bit. And I think you do something similar for the other foot, but using the other piece and push that one together. So you need to put the knee joints together, and this one wasn't supposed to be that loose. I think I just identified the wrong part. Again, easy to remove if need be. There, fix that foot. I'm building the knee joints, squeezing these pieces together and these pieces together, and pressing down firmly so that they're seated right. And there's a little plate that you put over the knee to be an A-cap. Second knee, same way, and press it in together and put on the kneecap. Luckily, there's only one way to put that on. And then you take the upper leg and you slide it in to that, and that should give you a nice satisfying pop as it goes into the joint. You want to make sure the shorter, believe it or not, the shorter view goes in first. And we've got legs. Well, upper legs. So we're going to take this part of blast off to make the right arm. We're going to take this part that comes with the kit. This part gets joint right there. And this piece apparently is supposed to fit inside this, provided I have it pointed the right way. Interestingly, it does not seem to want to fit. Wondering if there's another piece. With Vortex, you take the nose and you attach it to that piece, and that's easy enough. And then you have a choice of hands. You can put an open hand, which I'm choosing to do, or a fist. I'm going to use the fist for the right hand so that he can hold his gun. All right, let's see if we can get the final combination, and I'm going to zoom out a little bit since we've got lots of pieces. So we have the main torso here. We're going to put the head right on top. We're going to put these 2 pieces together, which is the same as the other side, just opposite. They actually plug into, looks like, the wheels that are part of the trailer of Onslaught. So you have those joints. For the right arm, you take this hole that is in the top of blast off, and you plug it in here. With Vortex, you take the hole that's on the bottom and you plug it in here. Again, I'm gonna come back to blast off's full configuration, but we're gonna take this piece here and attach Vortex, the rest of Vortex. For that arm, the hip area here, you put that piece on the back and you slide this piece down the front, and that plugs in. I forgot to take his grill off. That could have been a problem. And then you plug that into where the grill was. So now you have his hips, which don't lie. Attach the legs, plug in Brawl, and plug in his foot. Whoa, the chest piece just came off. Plug in Swindle, plug in his foot, and let's put the chest piece back on, because without that, the arms don't stay on. Say the chest piece is a little bit tricky to put on. I figured it out. So there is a piece when you take the part blast off that this piece should actually remain with this, and that way this piece can quite easily be attached like so. And then you can pop it on together. I figured it was operator error. But yes, as you're removing, it's important that you note that there's a piece that's inside the back part of the shuttle. Needs to be removed and made sure that it is on, still attached to the front part of the shuttle. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Now the gun, interestingly enough, seems to use the inner part of the kind of trailer thing that Onslaught had, pops with this barrel, and this piece here slides in here and becomes a large gun, which then goes into his hand and he can shoot people. Now you do end up with some leftover pieces. Whichever hand you didn't use, the gun that was on the back of Slot, a grill, Swindle's weapons, a bunch of little pieces. I'm curious to know, it would have been cool if one of these cannons actually fit to the other hand, then you could put on the other fist, but that does not appear to be the case. All right, so excess pieces. I'm gonna put those in a baggie and keep those aside. Let's take a look at the fully assembled Bruticus. So giving him a spin on the turntable of doom. He looks pretty good. Very cartoon accurate. One can hope that the new Age of the Primes one looks nearly as good or better. Yeah, let's check out some posability because he does have it. So, pretty much a full toes up Jean-Claude Van Damme. That chest piece, bane in my existence. He can kick forward, back not so much, to the side, and he can fall apart if he doesn't have his chest plate on. Bends at the knee and swivels at the knee. All right, let's get this chest plate back on because that on mine seems to be the biggest issue. The chest plate just doesn't like to stay in place, but that felt pretty solid going in there. All right, twisting at the waist. I'm almost scared to do it because of the chest plate, but he can do it all the way around. Arms can go all the way around, can move to the side, bends at the elbow, swivels at the elbow on both sides. And again, he can move his arm out to the side, hit himself with the tail of a helicopter head and a ball joint. It better turn all the way around and look up and look down. So pretty cool. Just, I hope you don't have as much trouble as I did with the chest plate. Now, in order to get these guys, you need to find them in Defender version 04, 05, and 06. And you will find, I believe, one in 04, two in 05, and two in 06. But you're probably wondering, okay, great, but how does he compare to the last combiner? Because, I mean, from his cannons to his feet, he's about 7 inches. If you count from the head, he's like 6.5. How does he compare to like Devastator? And I knew you were gonna ask that. So I have Devastator right here and they seem pretty much equal in size. So spin on the turntable of doom and we can do the confrontation. Bruticus will devastate Devastator. And then, kicked his butt or his chest. It is pretty amazing to me how many fights Devastator has lost, even though he's like the original and had 6 components instead of 5. So they're not weak components, construction vehicles and such, but he loses a lot of fights. But the new Bruticus kit should be available on Blokees.com. If it's not, then it will be very soon. I will actually take a look right now. Well, as of this moment, which is Friday, January 23rd, it is not on the site, but it should be very soon. I was told it's coming very soon. So to show you guys what's going on, if I see it up there, I'll let people know. I'll make a post. But yeah, I like him overall. The chest, again, a little irritating. And he has a little bit of an ankle swivel. A little more amazingly on Brawl's side than Swindle's side. But I think he's a very cool combiner. And I'm wondering who they're going to do next. Protectobots, Aerial Bots, Technobots, Magnabots. Magnabots would be interesting. But there you have it, the new Blokees Bruticus Combining Accessory. And it wasn't too difficult to put together, just don't be afraid to go back and figure stuff out. Hopefully I showed you the main issue that you might have with Blastoff, and just make sure that you don't have a loose connection in the ankles because that's not supposed to be. There are a lot of similarly shaped pieces, so just be patient and until you're sure, don't press them together. Not that you can't get them apart again. But yeah, a very cool Blokees combiner. So again, link to Blokees in the description. And I have to say, it's fun. And if you're having fun, by all means, feel free to subscribe. That'd be awesome. And while you're mulling over trying to hunt down components to this guy and get the kit, actually take a look at this video over here, which is the combining of Devastator. And we will see you next time. As always, have fun and good hunting.